Should you recline when eating the karpas? Does the karpas, the vegetable that is dipped in salt water, should it be eaten while you are behaseva? Should it be eaten while you are reclining? Well, there are two different opinions as to why we eat karpas. So let's ask ourselves why we eat karpas and then understand whether you need to recline or not. The most common explanation for eating karpas is the one that everyone knows. The salt water represents the tears of Bnei Israel when we were slaves in Egypt. So we dip it to remember the tears of Bnei Israel in Egypt. However, there's a different explanation. Another explanation is that we eat the karpas as a first course, or as they call it in Yiddish, a Vorspeis, something that's an appetizer. Why? Because the kings and the royalty can afford appetizers. A poor person only eats the main part, the bread, the meat, whatever they're eating, but they can't afford the luxury of an appetizer. And so we eat the karpas to show that we're royalty and that we're having an appetizer. Now you ask, should I recline or not? Well, it depends. If the reason for eating the karpas is to remember the bitterness of the tears, like the maror does remind us, so then you should not recline, because reclining is a way of royalty, and we should not be reclining in the case of celebrating or commemorating the pain and poverty of Egypt. And in that case, we should not do the haseva. However, if the reason for eating the karpas is to be royalty, to do something that reminds us of how free we are, in that case we should do haseva, because haseva should be done for parts that remind us of the royalty of the freedom of Pesach. So it depends, should you do haseva or not? Well, it depends. If the reason is like the tears and we remember the pain of Egypt, do not do haseva, because haseva is a way of royalty, of joy. But if it's to remind you of what has happened to, for being royalty, for being able to have a first course of an appetizer, then you should do a seva. It should be noted, the Maharal, I believe, and others believe that the dipping of the wet vegetable is in order so the children see, and they ask, Kedei she'yishalu hatinokos, so that the children ask. In that case, I don't know, should you or shouldn't you? Let me know in the comments.